Hello, my name is Hannah, and today we are building, not building, say this every time, we're making Sims. Yeah, I don't do this often enough to not call it building. But, like, if you think about it, it could be building because, you're, like, sculpting. And so, yeah, that's not anything like building, but that's okay. But I made a Sim, and then I decided, like, 2 days later that I was like, I'm gonna put another person and a cat. So there are now two people and a cat. I don't really remember any of their names. I remember one of them's Griffen, I think. I hope so. But like, don't remember the other ones. Like the cat has a name. I don't know what it is, but it's a cat. So it's a fancy cat. Don't even know what the cat looks like. I just know that there is a cat. And I also spent like a very long time going through this person's outfit. Like, I don't know why, but like most of the video is just this singular person that I'm spending time on right now because I could not figure it out for some reason. Which, sped up, it looks a bit better. But like when I was doing it, it was just like I spent probably a good 35 minutes on this person alone. And then maybe like 10 on the other person. So like that's a fairly drastic difference from when you go from like 35 to like that's a 25-minute difference on a singular sim that have the exact same amount of things to work on. But that's okay. But what I was going to talk about is my dad has been growing an avocado, not successfully, but in the kitchen near a window. My dad did one of those like, I don't know, something you would probably see on like 5-minute crafts. Like he put toothpicks through an avocado like pit and then put it above like a cup of water, like in a mason jar, and then apparently it's supposed to do something. I don't really know how that works, but it's been sitting there for probably a month. It has not done a singular thing. I'm not exactly sure what it's supposed to do, but nothing. It's done nothing. It looks exactly the same as it did a month ago. It hasn't done sprouted anything whatsoever. It just happens to be sitting there. Like, it's that water probably is smelly and it's probably gross by now, but like it's not even really touching the water. It's just like sitting on top of it. And so I don't know if this is gonna work, but we may have an avocado in a year, maybe. I'm assuming is how long that's going to take, but that's okay. It's a nice decoration with a mason jar with seed on top of it, It's cool, I guess. I have no clue. Also, I said that we were doing speeches this week in oral comm and then I didn't have to do a speech. Very glad, but that means I have to sit through 4 days of other people giving speeches, which I would have had to do anyway. But then I also don't have to stress about having to do my own speech, which, also gave me something to think about because oh good god, it's boring. It is so boring. Like, these speeches are like of the most boring topics. Like, I guess they're fun to the person who made them because that's why you chose the topic. But like, I did not need to sit there for 7 minutes learning about the history of baseball. Like, no, I'm actually okay. I could have lived without that. It's actually only been like an hour and a half since I left that class. I am out of school. I'm not doing it in the middle of class. But like, do not remember a singular event that happened in that one. We also had one that was like an entire presentation on volleyball. And then we've had like some medical ones, like someone did concussions, one of them did COVID, obviously. That's, top priority pick right there. That's fun. And then someone did celiac disease because they had that, which, that makes a bit more sense. But like also someone did like Hollywood. I'm fairly positive I've spaced out for the entirety of that presentation. Like the first 30 seconds was like dead, no emotion, just monotone speaking. So I was like, no. And so I stared at a wall and that's what happened. The only really presentation that I fully paid attention to was one on immigration because I was just like, okay, this one's like the topic was fine, like it's mediocre like all of the rest of them, and it kind of had more details than the rest of it, but the person put some emotion into their talking, which is interesting to listen to, unlike some of the other ones, which were like the ones over Zoom were very terrible because one, they kept cutting out, and then also we're all monotone because this is a required class, so half, well, not half, like a good 8/9 of the students are just like in the class to graduate, so no one cares, and you're not getting graded on how boring you sound, that I know of, because, you know, I'm fairly boring when I'm talking, and I've still managed to get, you know, good grades on those stupid speeches. But I'm just like, yeah, those are boring to listen to, and I don't want to listen to a boring speech for 8 minutes. Like, because, like, the time span is, like, 5 to 8 minutes, I think, for, like, the speech. So I'm glad I don't have to talk for 5 to 8 minutes, because I do not want to. But she also said we had, like, 2 to 3 speeches left, and that's just not fun in the slightest. Like, she said we weren't gonna have a lot of tests, which I was okay with, but also, if the speeches are replacing the tests, I would have much rather taken the tests, because we took one, I think, like in like really middle of January, like really beginning of the class, but it still was just like fairly easy, and we were, you know, allowed to use notes. But the speeches, we're not supposed to read off of a thing, and we're supposed to just like talk, and, you know, just have like some, maybe like some note card type things, which is much, you know, harder, and it's just boring. It's just not fun. Like, it's just, I feel like no one enjoys oral comm. I feel like there's probably like 3 kids, maybe. Obviously, someone's got to be interested in it, or you're not going to get like a teacher, because the teacher spent a good like week trying to convince us why oral comm was a necessary class to take, and I'm still confused on why we had to take oral comm. Because, like, you know, speaking, but I feel like I have gotten less confident at speaking through my oral comm class, and more confident while talking to myself at a computer. So, you know, maybe take notes, oral comm teacher. You know, this is a very good idea. Talking for 5 minutes about a random topic that we found on the school's library website. Maybe not that one. Just, you know, just a suggestion. But just think about it. But, you know, this is the end of the video, so it's not almost screenshots time, because I didn't put any screenshots, because I don't know how to take screenshots of Sims. But it's almost end card time. So I hope you enjoyed my rant story kind of thing about oral comm. Bye.